Without black voters, Biden, he can't win. He absolutely is not going to win. And it seems, when you look at the surveys and everything that comes out, the only ones that seem to be satisfied with Biden are white voters. And that right there should tell the community that these folks ain't with us. They see that Biden hasn't done a thing for us, but they're still giving him support. So, what is really different about voting with Democrat races or Republican races? I mean, it really doesn't. Does that make any difference to anyone? And like I said, it's clear that they're not with our community at all, just like the Democratic Party isn't. So Biden would lose in matchup versus Trump, according to CNBC's survey. So the American public, in wake of what's going on in Israel, believes that government support for Israel over Palestine and military funding. Of course, they're all in agreements, and we know it's not everybody in agreements, but they're in agreements with Biden on that, just like probably the same people that were in agreements about Ukraine. And when you look at everything that's happening, it seems like the only thing the American public can agree on is funding for a war. Anything else, I don't know where, and I really don't care where their minds are, but it just seems like war is the only thing they're willing to dig deep down in their pockets to pay for. So, All American Economic Survey also find support for President Joe Biden at nearly all time lows, and that he would lose by 4 points to former President Donald Trump in a head to head race. According to the survey, 39% of the public believe the US government should, fund this war, and compared with 34% after the 2014 Gaza war. Meanwhile, 36% believe that the US should treat both the same. They're saying both the Palestinians and the Israeli treat them the same, compared with 53% back in 2014. 19% are undecided, up from 9% in 2014, suggesting the situation remains fluid and actions by either side could still move public opinion. So, anyway, meanwhile, 74% of the public believe it is either somewhat or very important for the US government to fund military aid to Israel, compared to 72% say it's important to fund and secure the border with Mexico and foreign humanitarian aid. A smaller but still solid 61% majority respond that it's important to fund military aid to Ukraine, compared to 52% who support military and economic aid to Taiwan. Wow. The survey of 1,001 Americans across the country was conducted between October 11th and the 15th. Y'all must go to a certain demographic and leave other demographics out altogether. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. Y'all must go to only white constituents and no one else when you do these surveys, because that's the way it sounds to me. So, anyway, let's go on. Americans' overall approval for the president fell 37%, with 58% disapproving. It is the highest disapproval rate and the second lowest approval rating of Biden's presidency. So, like I said, they're very picky about who these surveys are for because, I doubt if anyone in our community was part of the survey. Just listening to all this, oh, well, these folks approve of all this aid and these folks approve of all this aid. Y'all didn't you didn't come to our community with your survey, which I am not surprised at all. Okay, so this is the chart that they published from this recent survey. So as you can see, the disapproval is definitely outranking the approval job for Joe Biden. Okay. So, and of course, there's always a margin of error in these things. So, Biden has fallen in support. Meanwhile, a combination of negative views on the economy and geopolitical tensions look to be eroding support for President Biden. Americans' overall approval for the president fell 37%. So you can see overall where it's showing 58% are disapproving of Joe Biden's overall job performance. It's the highest disapproval in his presidency. So 32% approval rating on the economy, which is the lowest of his presidency, while 63% disapprove of his job that he's doing on the economy. Even while Biden moved quickly to publicly support Israel and approve additional aid, the public is giving the president poor marks on his handling of foreign policy. 31% approve, while 60% disapprove. So a part of Biden's problem looks to come from within his own party. Just 66% of Democrats support his handling of foreign policy, and 74% back his handling of the economy, compared to 81% overall approval by Democrats. So they said if the election were held today, Biden would lose by 4 points to Donald Trump. This is according to the recent polls. But you know what, y'all? I do kind of agree that Trump probably would beat Biden. There are so many people unhappy with the job that he's doing, not to mention he has severely lost on the black vote. And as you can see, the Democrats are not doing anything to even try to get that vote back. They're losing it. And they're going to continue to lose all throughout 2024. I haven't heard anybody that said they have left the Democrat Party or they're not voting Democrat this time around. I don't hear them doing anything to try to win those people back. They're not doing nothing. So, as it stands, I would say between now and election time in 2024, they're going to lose even more. And, I did a video a couple of years ago that said the Democrats can't win without the black vote. Even if they had the white Democrats voting, it still would not be enough for them to win an election. And trust me, they are watching our videos and they know what we want. But right now, they're just sitting around all silent and not doing anything. We don't want any more symbolisms like holidays or symbolism things. We please stop doing those things. You are not winning anybody over with it. But we'll see where this goes. I know when it comes down to immigration, the Black community, especially in New York and Chicago, are very unhappy with everything that's going on. And the Democrats don't seem to care that they're imposing on the lives of the people there. They're just throwing those immigrants in the Black communities all over the country when those immigrants show up. Please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.